everyone. This is Michelle Gramoglia, the President and CEO here at Woodland Pond, and this is my weekly address for a Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, June 1st, 2025. Let's begin with talking about how successful the shredding event was last week. We had about 40 residents participate. That's fantastic. If you missed the shredding week, you can still have us help you shred any confidential items. It looks like it's $10 a box, and you just need to put in a work order to do that. And if we need to pick it up for you, that will be a $5 additional charge. But either way, we have the shredding here. We do intend to do a an annual complimentary shredding event, so you can keep your papers, or if you need to get rid of them. In the meantime, as I said, we can do that for you at any point. Tomorrow, we have the Woodland Hikers. We'll be going to a hike in Esopus Meadows, and we'll be departing at 2 p.m. from the lobby. And if you take a look at the Chanticleer or the newsletters, there's some nice tips in there about things that you should think about when you go on any of these hikes, including wearing the appropriate footwear. It appears that the walking sticks are considered to be mandatory. Obviously, of course, tick protection and hydration, also very important. The Woodland Pond Folk Singers will be hosting a July 4th themed sing-along on Thursday at 1 p.m. in the courtyard. And all are welcome and encouraged to sing along. And in case of inclement weather, this will be moved into the pack. We are taking signups at Concierge for the for the first Tibetan meditation event that we're going to be holding in Independent Living on July 12th at 11 a.m. And those are limited to 25 spaces. So if you would like to sign up, please do that at Concierge, and there is more information available for that in the newsletter. Lyra Fest is back and will be at Woodland Pond on the 8th of July at 2:30 p.m. This is a very well attended and popular event, and we would ask that you please do sign up with Concierge. And for each of these events, we will make reminders to folks that the back row of seating in any large seating event in the pack should be reserved for latecomers. So please do avoid sitting in that back row. Now, hopping right into rumor mill items. This is a typical Woodland Pond kind of thing, right? So we've got 50% of respondents or contributors to information go one way and 50% go the other way. Just within the last week alone, I have had in my inbox, and I will consider this to either be a rumor or a suggestion, but came into my email inbox, and it was a resident that was recognizing the fact that in her estimation, she has seen significantly more fireflies in her yard this year than she remembers ever seeing at Woodland Pond in the past. And she was thanking us and attributing that to the natural lawn care that we have in process. And immediately on the other hand, I have a complaint in my inbox as well about how many more ants and other bugs there seem to be around on campus, and why can't we bring back the things that kill those little critters. So it's always kind of seems to be like this. I like to share this kind of thing. Obviously to the point of extermination. If you do have any issues, if you have any kind of pestilence or anything like that, please do call Concierge. We will add you to the exterminator list. It's very important, particularly fruit flies at this point in time. Please make sure that you're properly handling compost. Don't leave it on the counter. Put it in your freezer until you can bring it downstairs. These things will attract fruit flies, and everybody knows they kind of come in a flash. The next one is, this is a good one. This one came through a newer resident. I happen to know that because the person actually reported it, and we decided that we should turn it into a rumor mill or suggestion based on the contents. This was a newer resident that was relaying a story that she had with a neighbor, and something came up. There was a question. Oh, she got locked out of her. She went out for a walk, didn't bring her badge. Happens all the time. And so, obviously in that case, if you ever need help and you need assistance getting in, for whatever reason, you can always call concierge. And apparently she was relaying this story to a neighbor, and the neighbor said to her, oh, never call concierge because they're going to put you on a list and move you over to memory care or to the health center. And of course, for those that have been here for a longer period of time, you are very aware that, first of all, concierge and all of our staff are here to help you. That's the reason that we have a concierge. They are not just there to smile and greet the people that are coming in the front door. They're really there because we're here to help residents, and you're all going to have things that you need. So are your guests, your loved ones, our business contracts. Everyone needs things, and that's completely appropriate and expected. We do not even begin a discussion about somebody potentially needing a move to the health center until there are significant concerns that that person cannot meet the criteria for independent living. And I think that's really important to emphasize. And although we do joke around about the fact that it's housekeeping that gives information, or dining, or concierge, or the bus drivers, all of that is true, but this is not a targeted type situation. And we have a very specific set of criteria. So whenever we do have someone that may need a higher level of care, that conversation with that person and their family is lengthy. Those conversations usually go on for weeks or months in advance, and the documentation is very clear about which of the criteria for independent living that somebody may not be meeting. And if you were to look at that list, and it is in your handbook, but I can find it here quickly. It's in your resident handbook. I'm not going to find the page immediately, but there is an extensive list in the handbook that explains all those criteria. And if you were to look at them, you would see that they sort of run the gamut on things that are kind of important and then other things that are much more important. And from our perspective, the things that are very important are the things that are related to safety. So if we think that there's a concern that you wouldn't know what to do in the event that a fire alarm goes off, for example, that's much more important to us than whether or not you can independently manage your finances. That's something that your family can help you with, or you can hire someone to help you with. But if you start to not know what to do in the event of an emergency, of course, there's not really somebody that you can hire to outsource that response to. So suffice it to say, we want people to utilize all of the services that are available to you. We are here to serve you. We are a human being service-based organization. So please do keep those requests coming to concierge, and please never chide yourself if you lock yourself out. It happens all the time. Yesterday, we had a resident inquire about the effects of the blue light system that Tom sent a notice out about yesterday, related to concerns about folks with epilepsy. And for those that do not know what I'm talking about, it may be because you're not on the Woodland Pond email listserv. We are in the process of installing an added safety element to our emergency response system, specifically in the form of what's becoming very commonplace. You've seen them on college campuses for years. Blue lights are little blue light indicators up along the ceiling level, periodically spaced down a hallway, for example, are becoming sort of the new norm in terms of silently notifying the occupants or the people in those areas that the building is on a lockdown for any reason. And in our case, as you all know, or many of you know, we last year invested in panic buttons at both front doors, which means that as soon as those panic buttons are hit by concierge or reception, the building locks down, as well as certain fire doors closing automatically. This will also activate that blue light system. And we will get many more instructions out about this. but they're no different in terms of the strobe than the current fire alarm system. Each of these alert systems do have lights associated with them. We do not currently have anyone diagnosed epileptic that we are aware of. There may be someone that does not has not provided us with that diagnosis. But at any rate, these are commonplace. The lights are no different than what you would see in a typical fire alarm, and our fire alarms go off all the time, as we know. We've never had an issue. So if you have any specific concerns about yourself in that regard, let us know. But as we do more education, once these lights are in, what you're going to learn from us is that if you were to open your door from your apartment and you looked out in the hallway and you saw a blue light, you're immediately going to close your door, lock it, and shelter in place. So we don't want anybody around the blue lights, because the whole point of the blue light is to tell you this campus is on lockdown. I need to get to safety right away. Again, more education will come on that. We are very excited about being able to add this new safety element. All of our drills, all of these things always lend to opportunities for us to do this. It will take a bit of time to get all of the wire run for these. And lots of square footage and lots of linear footage that we have to cover. But this will be a fantastic way. If you don't carry a cell phone, or for some reason you can't get communication, you won't know the specific details of what's going on, but you'll see that light and you'll know we're in lockdown and I need to get to safety. Okay. The next one, is it cost effective to have two people, and specifically Gretchen and Carrie, doing the same job for 6 months? And the answer to that is it depends on how you budget things and how you project and how you expect things. And not all of our positions have a lengthy, what we call runway, in terms of the replacement person for that position. Some positions turn over more frequently. Dining, for example, we've got a lot of college students coming and going. We certainly don't do, months worth of cross training when someone's leaving. The standard is to give 2 weeks notice. So normally, that would be the most in a typical situation that you would have. But for our more complex or supervisory positions, of course, you need to have a little bit of a longer runway. There is no expectation, I don't think, that this is going to be a full doubling up, and certainly not for 6 months. Carrie is here. This was budgeted for when we adopted the 2025 budget. We knew that this was going to be happening. We've done this historically. Our last director of nursing was in for almost a year before her predecessor left. And it's critical in some of these positions. So organizations budget for these kinds of turnovers. Woodland Pond does the same, obviously, to the extent that we anticipate them. But yes, we have to make sure that the people are adequately prepared to do these critical jobs. And some jobs just come with a longer training period. And this is one of those. Let's see. Okay, this is a question that came up at last week's rumor mill or suggestion. And this is one of many topics that we covered at our board retreat last week. There was a concern about the anonymity or the record keeping related to folks that may choose to donate to the capital campaign. And before I go on, I do just want to mention we will be doing pretty significant information sessions about what's to come with the active part of the capital campaign. We are actually going to be holding a panel interview with 3 of the existing board members at Woodland Pond that are either financial advisors themselves or have dealt with these types of campaigns professionally, because there are a lot of questions that they can answer about tax benefits to the individual donors and things like that, opportunities that you have for turning over appreciated securities and things like that. There's lots of logistics, lots of different opportunities to do this. But in these information sessions, one of the things that we're going to really try to emphasize is no capital campaign, including this one, expects that everyone will want to participate. And it also doesn't expect that everyone feels financially comfortable in doing so. And that's totally totally acceptable. No one would ever begin any kind of a fundraising campaign thinking that you're going to have 100% participation. And I want to just make that very clear. We understand that this is something that there are residents and loved ones and staff here that may not feel comfortable or interested in contributing. And I just really want to emphasize that. And it doesn't take 100% of the people to accomplish a goal like this. So that is to be rest assured. But at any rate, what that did is it prompted a rather lengthy conversation at the board retreat about the different types of mechanisms that we might be able to put in place to accomplish what this individual was concerned about, which was my personally having information about who donated and who didn't. And so what has been decided is that there is an investment vehicle, which is called a donor advised fund, which is a type of an investment that will actually be available to the donors in this capital campaign. The contributions will be made directly to this donor advised fund. It will earn interest, which is fantastic. And that, of course, helps, defray or, defray some of the costs that we might have related to the overall construction project. Every dollar counts. But the nice thing is that they will do all the record keeping and take care of all of the tax deductible accounting that needs to happen with that and the reporting. So we will go into more detail about, the different tax benefits, different things that folks would want to talk to their financial advisors about. And again, it's totally up to the individual about whether or not they're going to contribute. And we will be keeping that information completely confidential. If you choose to publicly say that you're not interested in contributing, we can't protect your identity in that case. So you obviously control that information, but it wouldn't be Woodland Pond sharing it. It would be, if you choose to say, in a meeting or, over dinner or whatever, I'm not going to contribute. Totally fine, totally your choice, but we can't protect you as being someone that didn't contribute and being, I guess, recognized in that way because you're choosing to make that known. But at any rate, so we're listening and we are working through a bunch of these logistics and excited to get this kicked off. Let's see, this one says, please remind residents that, and there is a name of a resident listed here, but I never say them on these addresses, with dogs to not use those leashes that automatically extend for yards when the dog runs away. I have seen dogs race across the lawn and jump on an unsuspecting resident and it then says thank you. And I will remind all pet lovers, pet owners here at the community that our pet policy currently prohibits the use of retractable leashes. That's what this person is referring to. The reason being is that those retractable leashes, first of all, they are not as sturdy and not as reliable in terms of if a dog was to run away or whatever it is as its standard leash. They're very thin string, typically. But even if it's a thicker version of that, the problem with those is that they can extend for a very long distance, and that creates a safety hazard, a tripping hazard. It provides you less control over the dog. So there is a reason that those types of leashes are prohibited. What I would encourage is if you are a resident that has seen a specific person, in this case, we will be able to follow up with the person that has been identified, but you see things that we may not necessarily see. So please never hesitate to let us know, and then we will discreetly talk to that person. This one says, I believe that it is a conflict of interest for the same person to be on the resident council and on the board of trustees at Woodland Pond. Please recommend that the board pass a decree that a resident council member is not eligible to be a board of trustee member. I will pass this along. Currently, the bylaws of neither the resident council or of Woodland Pond as an incorporated entity prohibit someone from being in both the resident council and the board of directors. So it's certainly something that either body could consider in revising their bylaws, but currently there is no prohibition, but I will certainly pass this along. Please keep these rumors and suggestions coming. They're so helpful. They really do help us to craft different responses and look at things through a different lens and think about how we're going to approach things. I really take them seriously. We keep all of them. I guess maybe someday we can look back and kind of make sure that, you know, we've addressed a lot of the concerns and stuff that are located in these rumor mill and suggestion items. But at any rate, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next week.